Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time it is when you're watching this, and welcome to Children's Church. Coming to you with Nana Nancy. I am so excited to be with you. Well, the last few weeks, they've been talking about prayer, but I need to check something first. Are you ready? I want you all to open your mouth and let out a big scream. Are you ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, I can hear you. Oh, a little louder. I can't hear all of you. Okay, now your mom and dad are really wondering what is going on. Now I want you to whisper. Okay, whisper. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, good job. Now I also want to know, can you not make a sound? And can you think? See, that's my little thought bubble. So think about your favorite thing to do when you're at school or your favorite thing to do outside. No sound. Are you thinking? Good job. Now, one more thing I got to check. Can you do this on your wrist? Take these 2 fingers and feel around. Can you feel a thump, 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 thump? Or can you do this and feel a thump, 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 thump? Put up your hand if you can. You all should put your hand up or else we have a bigger problem. Everybody got their hand up? Good. If you can talk, think, or have a heartbeat, this is for you because it means you can pray. Now, there's lots and lots of different things we can talk about prayer. And we could be here for hours and we'd never figure it all out. So today I'm going to talk to you about the fact that God always answers prayer. So you're probably all excited thinking, oh, here's my Santa list. God, I want this, this, and this. I didn't say God always answers the prayer with yes. God answers it 3 ways. Yes. Later. And the one we're going to focus on today is no, no. Can you guess what the next one is? You got it. No. How many of you like to be told no? I sure don't. But that's what we're going to do today. I want you to think about somebody you know that loves you because we're going to use them as examples today. So it might be a mom and a dad, might be a grandma and grandpa, maybe a favorite cousin, a good friend, a brother or sister most of the time. So have those people in your mind. Okay, let's see. Here's a scenario. What if you asked your mom or dad or the babysitter if you could have some junk food? No big deal, right? Well, let's just get out some junk food because we are just going to have a party, just me and all my junk food, my favorite chips, my favorite drinks, some red licorice, my favorite chocolate bars, and my even favorite bigger chocolate bar. And all of a sudden, I get told, no, I can't eat that. Well, I'm not very happy about that. Do you know why you got told no? Because eating all that and doing that would be just plain not good for you. And sometimes God tells us no to our prayers because they're just not good for you. Can you imagine if you ate all this? How would you feel at the end? You wouldn't be white or whatever color you are, you'd be green because it was not good for you because it made you sick. Or things like, I'd like to go play in traffic. You're going to get told no because that's not a good thing for you. Or you want to drive without a seatbelt. Actually, no. Your parents want to drive and you don't want to wear a seatbelt. Not a good thing because it's not good for you. So, shoving crayons up your nose. Not a good thing for you. So you're going to get told no. How about this one? How many of you have said, Mom, Dad, I really, really want a horse, but you live in an apartment? So you cannot have a horse. You cannot have a horse. Or how about, I'd like to have a teddy bear. Can I take a teddy bear with me on a walk? And Mom and Dad say yes. And you come down your room with this teddy bear. What are they going to say? Any guesses? No. Do you want to know why they say no to those kind of things? Because, here's a big word for y'all. They are just plain ludicrous. Can you all say that big word? Ludicrous. Sometimes when we ask God for things, it's just plain ludicrous. They make no sense, they're unrealistic, just plain silly and crazy. So God says no. That's one of the reasons he says no. There's still more reasons. How about sometimes the timing just isn't right? Let's say you want to go drive a car, or maybe semi, and you can't. Do you know why? Because you just aren't old enough. Some things have to happen before that prayer can be answered as a yes instead of a no. Things like you have to be big enough to reach the pedals. You have to be old enough to take a driver's test and driver's ed. Because sometimes it's just not the right time yet. You know what another reason is why God sometimes says no? How many of you have begged and begged and begged for a phone? It's Christmas time, you want a phone. You beg and beg, and it's not an unreasonable request, but your parents keep saying no. What kind of face would you make? A pout. Sometimes when they turn their back, you might even go, but a no is still a no on that. But what if at Christmas time, you open up and you find a ticket because your parents bought you tickets to go to a Calgary Flames versus the Toronto Maple Leafs in Calgary, and that's why they said no to the phone, because they need to spend the money on that. So the issue was you needed more information about what the situation was going on, and God knows that more information. So sometimes that's why he says no. I'm going to read you a verse. In 1 John 5:14, it says, "This is the confidence we have in approaching God, that if we ask anything," woohoo, anything, yahoo, that means we get yes to anything. The verse doesn't stop there. It says, according to his will. That's a whole nother little preach, according to his will. He hears us. So, God says no sometimes for those reasons, but what we really need to do is pray this way, to know his will and do his will. That's the biggest thing, to know his will and do his will. And we talk about that in the Lord's Prayer. So just because God says no, remember he says yes, no, or later, I want you to leave you with one thing. Even though God says no, God's love for you and I never changes. Even if when you pray, he says no.